When's it okay to say no to somebody or to something? I know for a fact that I'm a golden retriever personality type. Whatever, I took the little test, whatever, answered the questions, and saying yes is my fallback. And recently, in different areas of my life, I've started saying no. And I already shared some stuff about kind of how I've done that at work, or at least I think I have, who knows. But there was something that came up that wasn't a work thing that I've said yes to every single time. And this time I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I mean, it's no big deal. It's nothing personal, nothing against anybody. I'm just like, you know what? I've been saying yes out of obligation because that's what I've always done. And I had a good friend ask me today, say, hey, why'd you say no to that? And, I was like, I'm going to start saying no to other stuff to leave myself time to say yes to some things I want to do. I'm going to start saying no to things that I really don't want to do, but I do it anyways. Now, don't get me wrong. There are things in life that you have to do. You can't say no to. But just saying yes to please somebody else, or just saying yes to make somebody else's life easier when it makes yours harder, saying yes to something that's not your calling, well, that only takes away from what your calling really is. And we've all heard this saying, everything you say yes to is saying no to something else. And it's going to surprise some people when you say no. And people are going to say, well, hey, I enjoyed that, or I always appreciated it when you did that. Well, my question is, why am I doing this if it's just to please somebody else? Like, because somebody else enjoys something, I'm not obligated to do those things. And actually, it felt pretty good to know that I had freed a substantial amount of my time up by not saying yes to something. And then the other thing I was asked, well, you saying no is going to make life kind of difficult in other areas for other people. Well, that's their problem. That sounds terrible, and I don't mean it personal. And but I need to not always be concerned on making somebody else's life difficult by saying no and making mine better. Now, look, I've got close friends, I've got family that, sometimes those are different things. Like, you got to look at those differently. But if I always said yes to Shannon, and we have a great marriage, anything that is screwed up about our marriage is 100% on me. God took care of me with Shannon, but if all I did was say yes to every request that was made, and she never said yes in helping me out, well, man, it's not a marriage. It's just an awesome convenience for my wife. Yes has to be a two-way street most times, I believe. And if you don't look at it that way, well, hey, what about your friends? If yes was always a one-way street with your friends, where you were always doing what they asked of you, you're always helping out, but when you needed help, they were never there. I don't know if they're really, they're not your friend. And when my friends need help, I'm about 100% yes, unless I'm literally not at home. When Shannon needs me to do something, I may grumble a little bit about it, but it's almost always yes. However, there are times that you have to say no